We're gonna try this again. Uh, I'm gonna create a new player guide for you guys. We're gonna cover some of the basic topics to get you into this game. It can be really overwhelming, really confusing. I've put around 40 to 50 collective hours into this game, and while I don't know everything there is to know, I think I can give you guys some information that should help you get started and get you on your way to mid to late game. So, first thing that we want to cover today is the main screen, right? And this game, ships are essentially, I don't want to say servers, but they kind of are. So once you create a character on your ship, on a ship, I think you have to pay to change it. So we're on ship 2. Congestion is just the, how full the server is. At night it gets pretty congested. Now, if you have a friend, you can refer them, you get benefits. We're going to go to character creation. Now, my character, Apollo, he's a Braver, level 49. You can see my playtime on him is about 27 hours. We'll go to create new character just because I want to show you guys what the system is like. I'm probably not going to make a new character, though. So, this is probably the most important. Now, there are ways to kind of change your appearance and all that later on. There are cosmetic items, but realistically, when you pick your race, you're locked into that. When you pick your class, you are not locked into that. You could basically take one character and level every single class in the game from there. So, basically, each race has its own set of perks that may benefit it more for a specific class, and male and female tend to be a little different. So, for my character, I made a cast male. You can see here, they basically have, higher stats in, maybe defenses and photon, which is kind of like what you would think of like maybe like magic if you're a caster type of thing. It's a little bit weaker. So males are good, or human male, human female, good all-arounders. Not too many, buffs or things that'll make them better suited for any one particular class. They're just good at just about everything. Newmans, these guys are like great for casting. So if you're gonna be, a techie or techer, you may want to look into that. Cast we already talked about. And these guys here, obviously lower defense, higher offense. So maybe a bouncer, braver, something that's more on the attacking side of things. So we go here. From here, the classes, they play very, very differently. What's important to note is that each class has access to 2 different weapons. And then every class has access to a gunblade, which is essentially, if you ever play Final Fantasy VIII, Squall, same thing. So Hunter, these guys are a little bit tanky. They do a lot of damage as well. Braver, you can go bow or katana build. Personally, my character's katana built, but I have tried out bow. It's perfectly feasible. You can build a straight bow build. Bouncer, these guys are cool. They zip around the map. They're very fast. They have rocket boots. Ranger, they use guns. Typically, you think Ranger bow. In this game, they use guns. Force, these are your kind of like your tech guys. They use magic and spells. A lot of photon arts and stuff like that. Summoner is the pet class in this game. Pretty self-explanatory. Summons a pet. It's more about your pet, how you control it. They are adding Hero, Phantom, and another class soon. Those are available in JP on the JP server. So now we're just gonna pick. Again, it doesn't matter too much. We'll just pick a summoner for whatever reason. Now, you can choose different presets, right? I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You can change the face. Cast doesn't really have too much that you can change, so you can change the body. style to match certain heights, things like that. Body morphing, this is where you can customize how big, small, narrow, tall, things like that. Any cosmetic body pieces that you've unlocked show up here. Arms, same thing. Legs, same thing. And then you can further customize them however you want, like that. You can also change the colors around however you see fit. Accessories, Cast doesn't really have a lot of accessories that make sense, you know, so you're not really going to see too much. Put some shades on the guy. And then you can customize their position, height, angle. Voice. My Cast hovers, which is pretty neat. I think hover is only available to Casts because they're robots. Other ones you'd have to get like a special animation or something, like a cosmetic item. So that's in a nutshell, that's the character creation. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on that. Alright, once you've created your character, you're going to start the game. The next thing that we're going to cover, guys, is essentially how weapons, armor, cosmetics, all that, how they work. So, oh man. Alright, so weapons, you're going to go to equip weapons. You have these palettes, right? And the palettes are essentially your hotbar. Now they change based off the weapon. Here I have a longbow +4 equipped. I'm not a bow user, so I haven't upgraded this in a while. These are all my skills. Like that. Okay? So that's basically how the weapons work. Now in order to equip a weapon, you have to have a certain set of stats. So if we go down here to my Nox Katana, it is a katana, so it's only equipable by katana classes. The stat requirement to equip it, right? You can see there's not a level requirement, it's a stat requirement, and I need to have a minimum value of 425 melee defense. My current value is 443, so I can equip it regardless of my level. You're going to see rarity, the higher stars, the more expensive, the better the piece of gear. Class, it shows you what classes can equip it. Now stats. 901 is the melee attack power, 15 would be the range, and the staff is the tech. The little white star is the element. It has a light element. There's different elements in the game: fire, ice, thunder, wind, light, and dark. 28 represents like the damage percentage that it will do as a light. Now augments, if you look on the middle part of the screen where it has the name, it has like a little rainbow cube and ×3. These are augments. You can see the other things in my inventory. The Lacruico has 5. My longbow has 6. So the augments show up here. Has mastery, which puts +15 to all stats. Burn, inflicts level 5 burn. And lucky charm, it increases the rare drop multiplier by 7%. So that's basically how weapons work. You do have to meet a minimum requirement in order to equip them. They all have different stats, and they are class specific. This is going to dictate what class you play, for the most part. Unless you're going to just use a gunblade on everything. Now, the next thing we want to cover is your armor. In this game, you have these basic cosmetic parts, which just show how you look. Units essentially is what your armor is. You have back, arms, sub, or legs. These provide stats, just like with the weapons. You can see that this back unit provides melee defense 100, fire resistance, and it has 4. It's got the 4 augments on it. So each one is a little different depending on how you want to build your character. Okay, these are mine right now. They also have their rating system, and you can see that they require different things. This one requires 100 dex. This one requires 286 melee defense, and this was I can't remember where I got this thing, was a bonus item. So Rings are very important. They're going to benefit your class greatly. They also provide stats. They can be upgraded to, I believe, plus 20. Rings are crafted. We'll get into that in another guide. They're essentially purchased and then upgraded. So that's basically your armor setting. Now, fashion, customized looks. Any cosmetic items that you've gotten will show up here. You can change all those things. Like you can see, Apollo has a raining cloud on top of his head. So under accessories, it'll show up there. You also get, let's see here. You also get camo. So if you go to customize, weapon camo, I don't have any camos equipped right now because I kind of like the way this weapon looks, but they would go here. You want to customize your sub palette, which we'll get into. So when you equip a weapon, it has its own set of palettes. All right. When you equip, when you're not using the weapon, or it's kind of hard to show you guys without being in battle, but basically this is a sub palette from left to right. Okay. All these things can be changed. Whatever weapon you have equipped is going to end up in the middle. That sub palette is its own thing. And that's where you go to equip weapons, and you can change that. So that's where that's going to show up here. Okay. Everything else goes here. Your healing stuff, any maybe passives or anything like that. Or not passives, but active skills that require you to use them, utilize them, they go here. Okay. And these can be changed out as you see fit. You start with 3, you can add more. So that is basically just kind of the UI, alright? From here, we'll talk a little bit about mags. If you have a summoner, you get a pet. We don't use the summoner class, so we're not going to go over that today. But mags are a pet that everybody has access to. So with mags, you can feed it. Now, I'm braver. For me, I want pure melee. That's what I'm going for. And you can see that my braver is level 106. My melee support is 105. My melee defense is 1. I screwed up. So we want a pure melee support. It's going to give me more damage at the end when he's level 200. That's the highest a mag can get to. So when we go to feed it, you want to basically, if you're going for full melee, regardless of what you go for, there's certain items that are good to feed to your mag that will boost one stat and also boost the other one, right? So we don't want Dex. You can see if I feed him this, he's going to get melee support up a lot, but his Dex is going to go up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to feed him this 8-star. Now, his energy level went up. That's basically how much you can feed him. It goes down over time. You replenish it by feeding him, right? We're going to feed him another... Let's feed him a 6-star or 7-star, right? Now, he's at 65% energy level. Now, you can see here that if I feed him again, I'm going to get a dex level. I don't want a dex level. So for melee, if you go to furniture, this is a little trick. If you're boosting something else, there's different furniture items that you can do, but a sofa, 4-star furniture item, is going to boost his melee support a little bit, and at the same time, it's going to decrease his dex. So you can see that it's going to pull that bar back. So we're going to feed this to him now, and the dex support went down. So essentially, when it comes to feeding your mags and leveling them up, what you want to do is boost the main stat that you're looking for, and try not to level up any other stats whatsoever. The best way to do that is to feed it weapons that are going to boost the stat, so a melee weapon will boost melee, ranged weapon will boost ranged, etc. Just go on down the list. And then decrease the dex, because you don't want to end up with losing out. You know, let's say you end up with 190 levels in melee support and 10 levels in dex. That's 10 extra levels that you could have had for attacking. So that's kind of how that works. Also, depending on the stat you boost the most, your mag will evolve into different tiers or different things. So everybody starts with the same mag, and then depending on your stats, as it levels up, it will evolve into different things. The other thing about mags is after a certain level, they are going to get they're going to get a photon burst, which is a special ability that you can put to your sub palette. You can see mine right here. Helix Proi, that's the one that they gave to me. I think it might be given to everybody, which is pretty normal. You can change that. You can buy new ones that fit your build, a scale maybe off of the stats that you're going for. So, kind of a short little, thing about mags. The next thing I want to kind of talk about for you guys is going to be the free-to-play aspect of this game. Things that you can... It is free-to-play. Things that you can buy are inventory expansions. I highly recommend. You can buy premium. Premium, what you're probably going to want it for, is it's going to let you sell stuff on the auction house, essentially, the player store. If you have no interest in that, I haven't bought it yet. You can do everything in the game without it. There's nothing that's gated as far as having to pay, but we are going to cover some of the cosmetics and free-to-play aspects. So basically, you have different currencies, right? You have the AC, which I believe is like Arx Cash. Yeah, Arx Cash. And then you have these Star Gems. Now, Star Gems you can get in the game. They're really hard to come by. There's only certain things that give them to you, but they're there to use to buy stuff. So you can see with Star Gems, I had 94. Material storage, 30-day use. These are time sensitive. They expire once you use them. So you buy the item, you use it, and it starts the timer. Mission Pass. Mission Pass is basically like a battle pass, kind of. Just like another free-to-play games. Rare drop rate increase, Salon Pass, weapon transmutation, whatever. So they have an SG shop. They have these scratch tickets, which basically give you different types of cosmetics items. So you can see that these here all cost 200 Arx Cash in order to play. And then you have another currency, which is fun. This you just get by playing with other people. And these are the items that you can currently get using the Fun Cash. A list of percentages. They're all cosmetic stuff. Different things like that. And it shows how likely it is that you'll get it. I think this is how I get the Rain Cloud. Yeah. Good. You can get some boosts. XP plus 50%. These are handed out like candy though, so I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah. So that's how that kind of works. You can buy these on the Microsoft Store. And then, Fresh Finds is just kind of current event stuff. Some of the stuff you can purchase with money, like these badges. I'm going to buy these. These are used to get equipment. What is this? I'll get that as well. Right. So that's basically the free-to-play stuff. We'll look at the mission pass. So this is the free mission pass. This is what you gain access to. All right. And the premium stuff is all down here, or the actual mission pass that you have to pay for is down here. Gold, I guess, is what they call it. So now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about in this guide is going to be probably the most important thing, and that's going to be what you do. So you've created your character, you've logged in, you're super confused, right? You're going to end up in the gateway, okay? So what I want to do is I kind of want to show you how you get around, right? If you pull this menu up, you see here, go to the salon, which is where you can change how you look. Go to the cafe, which is where I'm at now, which is about gathering, so that's going to be for another guide. Personal quarters and alliance quarters. Now, alliance quarters are basically guilds, tribes, link shells, things like that. So it's just basically a guild if you have one, if you join one. Personal quarters is your own little player housing, small. It's like a room. You can put furniture, stuff like that in there. You also get an auxiliary, which I'll cover an auxiliary in another guide, but that's basically just like a NPC that you can send out on missions to do stuff or bring it with you to fight. They're pretty weak. So we're actually going to go to the gateway, because that's where you guys start. And go to the gate area. So again, you've created your character, you've logged in, You're in the gateway, you're like, now what? What do I do? There's a lot of stuff. I'm really confused. I'm really overwhelmed. So what I want to do is just provide some basic information to get you guys started and how to kind of level up and get set up. So the most important NPCs that you're going to want to talk to is going to be anybody who's a quest counter. Different areas on this hub will have a quest counter clerk. So the casino has one, the cafe has one, the gate has one, shopping center has one. I believe shopping center has one. So wherever you are, this is basically your hub, and you want to pick up quests, okay? We'll go into those in a second. Kofi, when you unlock her, is going to be super important. A lot of the difficulty upgrades and different things that you can unlock that are going to basically give you, more variety in the game, whether it's new difficulties, new types of missions, a subclass, all that, you're going to get from her, Kofi. And then you want to do the daily order officer. Now, like I said, just like the quest area, there's also a daily order officer in all the different areas in the game. If you see here, these 3 dailies, I'm going to pick them up now. They're called client orders. In this game, quests are basically called client orders. So as you play and you complete your dailies, you get a multiplier. And you can see it says daily boost plus 45%, 9 out of 10. And that little triple arrow thing pointing up under daily boost, which is top right near my map, that's from doing dailies. So you see how that icon matches with these 3. So what that means is as you complete these, your daily boost goes up. It's going to give you that plus 50%. Okay. Other than that, these change little by little. Some of them are worth a lot. Like this one here is worth 100,000. These are Meseta's money. And then XP, 100,000, 130. So you're definitely going to want to pick and choose which ones you do. The client orders get really overwhelming. All right, so don't freak out. Don't feel bad if you can't do them all. I get the Skyrim complex where I see all this exclamation points. I want to finish them all. It's probably not a good idea. The next person you want to make sure you do their client orders is going to be Afin. He's going to give you a lot of different things here. He's going to teach you about the game. So this is great to do his stuff for kind of tutorial. The next one you want to look at is going to be your class NPC. So for Braver, it's Azanami. Some of the most notable stuff that they're going to give you is, you see this client order has +5 Braver skill points. So if I complete this one, I'm going to get +5 skill points. So you definitely want to do that. All the class NPCs are basically right here in this section. Okay. I believe Petro is the summoner one. I think Oza is the hunter. So figure out who your class NPC is and make sure you get their client orders done. Work on those. Next person you want to do for client orders, you should prioritize, is Hans. His typically give really good experience and some decent money. Obviously that goes up as you complete them. 30,000, 30,000. Okay. Now, those are the ones that you should definitely make sure that you do. Okay. The next thing I kind of want to talk to you guys about, one more NPC here, is Levere. Hers are really good as well. So if you're kind of lost and you're not sure what to do with client orders, go ahead and grab those. Those are ones you want to focus on because of the XP. Now, we're going to talk about classes, and then I'm going to run you guys kind of through your typical play, right? Like how you should start out, what you should work on, how your leveling system's going to work. And then I'll give you guys a short tour of the area, and that'll probably be it for the beginner's guide. Give you some tips. Now, class consultant here, right? So add a skill tree, you have to pay for that. Swap a skill tree. Star gems technically pay for it or get the stuff. Reset skill trees requires a special item. I think it costs money, so good luck with that. Now, change class. My class is Braver, my subclass is Hunter. I'll tell you guys how to get a subclass in a minute. The rest are all level 1. So if you want to change your class, this is where you do it. Like I said, you can level every class to 75 with one character. There are benefits to creating multiple characters, but That's up to you guys if you want to do it. You can get more mags. Each mag costs $3 if you buy it on your own. So maybe you want to have, like Braver's bow and katana. Maybe I want to have a dex mag for my bow, but a strength mag or a melee mag for my katana. So if I create a second character, I can take their mag, transfer it to my storage, and use it on my Braver. So that way I don't have to pay $3 for a new mag. That's just one of the benefits of multiple characters. Oh, also you get, each character has their own storage, and then there's a general storage for all your characters. So having multiple characters allows you to farm dailies on those different characters, increases your money potential, increases your storage. So there are some benefits to creating other characters, even if they're just alts. Now, we're going to go here. On the left-hand side, you're going to see all the different classes in the game currently, and you can change the skill tree name. So, you know, that if you want to select, this is, they all say O1, but maybe I want to do Braver 1, Braver 2, one for Dex with the bow, one for melee attack for the katana. Now, I am a katana main, so this is my setup so far. You do want to go to custom setup. Now, this is really important. They don't really explain this right out of the gate. You see how these say levels? The ones here, you can unlock without using any SP, which is skill point. You get skill points upon level up. So, double jump. Enables 2-stage jumping. It's unlocked because their only requirement is level 40. I'm going to unlock it now, and it says here, you're about to level up without consuming any SP, because this doesn't cost SP. But they don't tell you that. No. This is my skill tree currently. I'm going melee, so I didn't do range power up. You can build however you want. There's tons of guides. Maybe I'll create a Braver guide later. I feel like I still have more to do, so I'm not going to do that. But let's put some points here real quick. Okay. Now, at some point, I believe it's around level 20 or 30, you're going to unlock a subclass if you're doing the quest that Kofi gives you. Subclass means you're allowed to equip a second class. You're allowed to equip a second class and have access to its skill tree, which means its abilities. So a good subclass for Braver is Hunter. And we're going to unlock these as well. So I believe when you have a subclass equipped, that subclass gains 50% XP that the main class is achieving. What the hell? Sorry, my tablet is updating now. Anyway, so I haven't touched Hunter. I haven't leveled it. I haven't equipped it. I haven't done anything, and it's already, you know, level 30 something just from playing with it as a subclass. So it's a good way for you to level up a class that maybe you don't want to play right now, but maybe you want to switch to in the future. I think we're gonna get these two up. And you can see here when you apply a skill point, it shows you what level it is and what it's going to change. So I'm just going to apply these points, nice and easy. Alright, that is basically how you level up your skills in this game, how you equip classes, subclasses, that type of thing. Again, Kofi is the one who will give you access to your mag, or I believe your mag, and your subclasses as well. So that's definitely something that you want to do. Equipment Officer, collection folder, I'll cover it real quick. This one is just going to give you access to certain weapons and gear. It's basically like a long-term thing. You have to collect certain weapons. They have to drop, and then eventually it'll fill up a bar, and then you'll get access to this weapon that's here, which is pretty cool, all things considered, because it's a plus 30, which is very useful. So you can see that I've already filled up some of these bars, and then I got the red partisan to drop, red wired lance, red sword. Once those drop enough times, it'll end up giving you this lambda R esteem plus 30. So, and you just basically pick whichever one you want to work on, and that'll be that. That one's really good because you can get the eggs for your pets, which are kind of hard to come by. Now, another NPC you want to look forward to is the Title Keeper. As you complete things, you'll get titles. Titles will give you stuff. Sometimes XP tickets, which are really useful. You'll probably get a lot of these in the beginning, which will boost you up to like level 15 right away. Always check your titles. The game will cover that. Alright. So, let's go through a typical run through, right? What do? You follow my guide. You understand where things are. I'll show you a full tour later. But how do you get started? Well, you're going to go to your quest counter. Now, story quests are literally that, story quests. In this game, they broke the story up, and there's not really a lot of fighting. It's just a lot of story content, a lot of cutscenes. They do give you awards, like currency, boosters, things like that. So you definitely want to do the story at some point. I haven't done it, but really, the meat of the game is kind of like Monster Hunter, right? Where you start in the hub, and you select where you want to go. There's certain missions where you can complete them and progress to unlock new missions, and there's also expeditions. Well, this game is very similar, right? So you're going to go to main quests. You have recommended quests. You don't really have to worry about this too much right now. Expeditions. My recommendation is when you play this game, you're going to want to complete all of the expeditions. And you're going to see that they're not all going to be labeled. You're going to have access to maybe forest, and then when you complete it, it's going to open up volcanic caves, which will then open up desert, which will then open up tundra, all the way down the list. All right. Now, it tells you the area, it tells you how many people can be there, quest class, multi-party quest, meaning you can have multiple people join you if you want, 3 teams of 4. Shows you what items are available per difficulty, and it shows you the basic enemy types that you're going to see. Obviously, each one is different. See how it changes. So your goal is going to be to unlock all of these, right? I'm still missing these last 2. I have to complete them, and then I believe I've unlocked all of them, right? Those are expeditions. So your main goal when you get started is probably going to be to, get your bearings straight, figure things out, listen to the guide, hopefully it helps you, and then jump into those expeditions, okay? Now, story quests we covered, main quests we covered, sub-quests. Art quests are really useful. These are more like maybe you need to go to an area, kill a specific enemy type of thing, so you might want to take these on. I haven't really done these too much yet, but they're just kind of like a shorter version of the expedition. There are going to be certain quests that will require, like client orders, that will require you to complete these missions, so that's important. Time attack quests are unlocked later on. These are essentially go to an area, maximum party of 4, clear the area and of enemies, and then move forward. It all really comes down to the same thing. Advanced quests are where you're going to spend the meat of your time. These are unlocked, I believe, at level 40. So basically, the general run-through is from 0 to 20, complete your expeditions, talk to your client orders, get all those done, level up. Get your mag, get your subclass from 20 to 30. Make sure you start working on those. Continue working on your expeditions. Once you've unlocked advanced quests, you're going to want to start to do them, assuming you've completed all your expeditions. If you haven't, you can go back and forth. Personally, I'm trying to finish those last 2 expeditions, and then I'm going to grind these out. So advanced quests are where you're going to get the meat of your gear, your XP. You're going to work with people on this. This is where the party aspect is really going to come into play. I will explain these very briefly because you're not going to have them for a while. So in order to do an advanced quest, you need an advanced capsule. You can get these various ways. You can buy them, they drop, whatever. Once you get to level 40, you'll see them. Now you're going to see under conditions for acceptance, level 40 and up, and a payment of 1 advanced capsule A. Okay? So in order to enter and do this mission, you're going to have to provide an advanced capsule A. I think I did my first one, and then I ended up, while doing it, getting like 60 more capsules. So something to consider is you'll get your stuff back. Now, in order to complete the second directive, the next area, you need an advanced capsule B. Well, advanced capsule B drops from completing advanced capsule A. Third directive, C. So basically, you want to do this rotation of A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. It's going to level you up. It's going to get you good gear. It's going to get you more capsules. Another thing that you can do is you're going to be able to increase the level of the enemies in these areas by providing certain items that will increase the level up to a certain percentage for the entire week. So this is going to be the meat of your stuff. Eventually, you want to start to unlock the harder difficulties, very hard, and then super hard. Super hard is where everything's at. So this is the hardest. And you can see, like, on super hard, you need 10 advanced capsules Fs. So it's going to be a slow grind, but look at the difference in gear. Items available. These have a power of 1,077. On very hard, best you can get is 746. So super hard is a whole nother beast. And then trigger quests, if you get trigger items, you can spawn very rare monsters. You basically use it in an area before you go, and then it'll spawn that monster. I don't really know too much about it, but maybe you're looking for a specific item that's dropped by a specific, like, rare enemy. That's where trigger quests will go, rare boss. Practice quests are how you can kind of learn about your character. I suggest you do this. I believe Ko-fi makes you do it. And then damage calculation is obviously if you want to check your DPS, work on your rotations. So yeah. The one tip that's really, really important that I think you guys should pay extra attention to is this. So I'm gonna select an expedition. Put it on very hard. Now, when you accept a quest, you can join the party on your current block. Block is like a mini server within your ship, or you can search for parties on other blocks. Okay, so maybe you have a friend that's playing, they're on block 20, you're on block 10, go to block 20, whatever. We're going to accept the quest. Now, accept in current block. This is really important. Make sure you do this. Okay. Now, you want to go over to client orders. Everyone's client orders is going to show you all the orders you have outstanding. Orders that can be accepted in the fields of ongoing quests. So if you do this, no matter what mission you select, right? If you do accept in current block after you pick your mission and you go here, it's going to show you a list of all the orders pertaining to that specific area that you can complete. So instead of having to run around to each of the NPCs and grabbing these orders directly, you can just pick them all up right here. So this one's accepted, or it's given by the daily order officer, 60,000 a set. We're going to grab that. Procurement is basically kill these enemies, they drop these items. We grab that, grab that. Hans, the guy I told you about, you see he's giving for these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we're gonna take all of them and accept. And that's gonna accept all those quests. Now once I complete them, I do have to go back to each NPC and turn them in, which is fine. Just go client orders, and you can see in the top left who gave you what, right? And that's basically just the beginning. So to recap, guys, we want you to start the game. You want to collect your client orders from Alphen, from Ko-fi. You want to collect them from Hans and your weapon NPC. Try to complete all your expeditions from 0 to 20 to level yourself up. You're going to unlock more expeditions, more missions. All the unlocking stuff in this game is based off your level, so the more you level up, more stuff becomes available, more client order NPCs open up as well. You want to make sure you get your mag from Ko-fi and your subclass from Ko-fi as available, and always go to Ko-fi to unlock the harder difficulties. So you can see here, just want to show you guys. Normal, hard, very hard, super hard. Normal and hard are unlocked. Normal's what you start with. You unlock hard from Ko-fi, you unlock very hard from Ko-fi, and then super hard from Ko-fi. So once you hit 40, start paying attention to your gear a little bit. We can cover enhancing and things like that in another guide. I just want to get you guys started. And from 40 to 50, it's a lot more of a slower grind, slower burn. And at some point, you're going to want to buy your first really good weapon. And you do that here. Personal shop. I'm not going to do this now. I want to show you guys the password, but you go there. Personal shop, if you have one, that's where you list it. If you don't, that's where you buy stuff. So the weapon I got here was about 300k. You can see the power difference. Everything that I've gotten to drop, it's in the 3s to 7s. That's a huge difference, right? So you should have something like this around level 50. That's what you want. Or as early as you can equip it, which is going to be high 40s to low 50s. So these things are interspersed throughout the map. This is where you access your storage. I'll give you a rundown. Make sure you check the top levels. There's some client order people up here once they are unlocked. As you can see, there's Barbara. Okay. We covered your class guy. This is where you unlock your skills, change classes, class NPCs. Medical staff is meh. We want to go to the shopping area. This will be the last thing we do, is we'll cover the shopping area. There's the entrance to the casino. You can get some good stuff there. So, this dealer, these are your skills. Skills are dropped in this game or purchased. They have different levels. You can see, it tells you how you use the skill, what class needs to be equipped. Now, you can learn skills as long as you meet the stat requirements, even if you're not playing that class. And then items. These are your basic healing items, revive items. Units. You don't really need to buy a lot of this stuff. These are, we recover this in your armor settings, but maybe you need to get something. Outfits. These two are really important. This one here, when you get unidentified items, you're gonna want to go here to appraise them. This is gonna be how you get some good weapons. This is how you enhance your stuff. We're not going to cover that today. It's a very long process, but eventually you can enhance your weapons, make them better. Usually want to do that with higher star weapons, so probably like the one that I just showed you guys, my katana. We can enhance that and then focus on our last like rainbow weapon, rainbow stars. If you're a summoner, your pet stuff is going to be here. The cafe is in there. I like going to the cafe because it's not as laggy. That's where all the gathering stuff is. Like I said, we'll cover that another time. The furniture trick I showed you guys with the mags, you can buy the furniture here. So for me, 4-star. For my melee build, 3,000 each. If you want to spend your fun currency, you can get some stuff here. Emotes, furnishings, and the swap. So maybe you got some stuff that you're not using and you'd like to get better stuff. Like photon spheres are really useful. If I turn in a rarity 10 weapon, I get a photon sphere. So this is how you can exchange certain things in the game that maybe you're not using to get something that you do want to use. Okay. So that's the shopping area and the gateway. That's basically it for the noob guide, guys. I will create some more guides, maybe covering, Braver, covering the different tiers of missions and things like that. If you have any questions, if there's anything you want me to specifically create a guide on, please let me know. Leave it as a message in the video, and we'll definitely cover the casino because there's some cool stuff there and how the games work. But thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna keep streaming now my regular stream, but I am going to upload this to YouTube for you guys. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna end the stream and then restart it real quick.